So about a year ago, I did a video about my new MacBook Pro M2 14-inch, 16 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte hard drive SSD that I've been using since then for photo and video editing. And lately it's been getting a lot of views on my channel, so I figured I would do a update about a year later to give you guys some feedback and more insight on to whether or not it's a good purchase for you. So thanks for joining. Now let's get into it. Quick disclaimer, this is not sponsored or anything. I bought this with my own money, use this for my own projects and all that stuff. So no bias whatsoever. Any of the accessories that I've gotten are not sponsored either, so just keep that in mind. But I will have affiliate links down below the video, so if you do find this valuable and want to support the channel, that way you can use my links, but no pressure. So overall thoughts, I have thought this has been an amazing computer, the best one I've ever had, and surprisingly not the most expensive one that I've ever had. So it has been able to handle everything that I've done. There's only been like 1 or 2 times that the fans have even came on, and that was when I was exporting like a 30-minute video edit, or 45 minutes I think. So that's not that big of a deal. That's not surprising at all, but otherwise it's been completely quiet, had no problem quickly doing everything. But just for reference, I edit 4K 10-bit videos, some raw C70 footage. I've done some raw 6K Blackmagic footage. I've edited iPhone 15 Pro log footage 4K. I've done Sony 4K footage, FX3 footage. I've done 30 plus megapixel photos, and I usually use some pre-made motion graphics plugins on my video edits, but not a ton. I use Lightroom and Photoshop for photography, and all of those work smoothly. I've also done some editing in DaVinci. So I know all this sounds great so far, but there have been a few things that have not been totally perfect for me that we're gonna get into throughout this video, so stay tuned. So number one, which is probably pretty obvious and probably the reason why some of y'all might be on the fence about getting this, is the screen size. So 14-inch is not that big for video editing, especially. For photo editing, it's pretty much fine. No big issues. Obviously it's handy to have more screen space, but 14 inches for a photo is pretty big. But for video, I found pretty quickly that I really started not liking editing videos on it, and I used just the screen for probably about 6 months, but got kind of burnt out and sick of it. And so when I had a project come up that allowed me to invest in a monitor, which is right here, I did, and it has been a huge game changer, and actually having that combo has worked out to be extremely good for me. So it's still travel friendly, still fits in my backpack really easily for traveling, for taking it on location to gigs, for photo shoots, video shoots, whatever. And at the same time, I can plug it into my home base, which is my monitor setup, and do some real deep dives into editing, and having that screen real estate to move everything around, get creative, and all that stuff is wonderful. So I think at this point, if I hadn't gotten the monitor, I would have gotten a little bit fed up with the purchase and maybe wished I had gotten the 16-inch or an iMac or something. And while we're touching on the monitor, I got the BenQ 32-inch Pantone color accurate video editing, photo editing monitor. I'll link it down below the video. Once again, affiliate link, but not sponsored. And it's been great. All that it uses is a USB-C cable, plugs into the laptop, charges the laptop. You can use dual monitors. You can just use one monitor, and that's what I normally do, is just have it closed. One unexpected thing about this monitor that I really like is the ability to switch between color profiles. So I didn't really realize this before, but the MacBook colors are very high contrast and look a little bit off color tone wise. So I switch between sRGB, Rec 709, and MacBook Pro with this little toggle switch that it comes with. And also I'll switch to a low blue light setting whenever I'm not doing anything that needs to be color accurate, just to protect the eyes. It's been great. I think it's definitely helped my videos look a lot better than before. Actually, another great option I want to mention for if you're just doing a home setup is to just get the Mac Mini Pro, because You can save a ton of money not buying 2 monitors and all the other stuff that's part of the MacBook, like the keyboard, the touch finger pad and all that. And you could get a really good monitor. You could get 2 monitors and be even more set up. That's definitely the route I would go if I was just going to be setting up a home base to edit and not wanting to take it on the road with me like I do. All right, back to the laptop. So battery life, after a year, it's been great. I could pretty much edit for about half a day on it if I'm doing photos or video editing. If I'm streaming, this thing could probably last like half a week, I would think. If I've been traveling or anything, I've had no issues having to plug it in or anything like that. It's been great. So a few more things I like about this and have been really great over the last year and actually gotten better over the last year are that everything's USB-C friendly. At first I thought it was kind of weird, but over the past year, all my other stuff has turned to be USB-C friendly. Like my iPhone now has USB-C charging. My external hard drives all are USB-C. My cameras both can charge via USB-C or transfer files USB-C really fast. My cameras are also both SD friendly, so I can also plug in the SD card. I could do 2 cameras at once if I want to, and that just really helps with my workflow. Let's see, also my FPV controller is USB-C, so I can do the simulator I'm working on with that, which is great. Practicing and learning, it's really fun. So yeah, overall, just compatibility with my other stuff is great. It's wonderful. It's just easy to use. It's seamlessly integrated into everything. And this setup has been my favorite ever, and I think has really helped me be a better editor. So now let's wrap this up with some final thoughts. So after a year, I think this thing is still great. It's still working great with modern programs that are a year more updated. And so yeah, I think this is a really great investment if you are editing photos and videos on the day-to-day basis. At this point, you might even be able to get a good deal on a used one. Or if all this stuff doesn't sound good to you, obviously you can make your own choice and maybe get something newer or get something with a bigger screen. Also, once again, don't forget about that M2 Mac Mini option as well if you don't need a laptop really. That's a lot cheaper way to get into the Mac editing ecosystem if you're on a budget. So anyways, if you've got any questions, leave them down below the video. Glad to help you out and get back to you ASAP. And as always, I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Peace.